Hey everyone, my name is Sienna Boyd, and we are back with Dr. Stephen Ching, who is our internist who
Hi,
practices out
everyone.
of our Hemet location. Today, we are chatting about something super exciting, which is 5 tips
Hmm.
to organize your health. I think it's super important, Dr. Ching. I know you see
Absolutely.
patients every day who come in who just don't have a good way to organize their health, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So today we hope that we can discuss some tidbits in terms of helping you organize your visits so that we can be as efficient as possible.
Perfect. Tip number 1 for organizing your health is
Hmm.
writing down all of your provider information. For example, Dr. Ching,
Hmm.
patients come into your clinic, they're your
Hmm.
patients,
Hmm.
but they may not know who their specialist is. What do you think they should do?
Right. Well, I think one way to kind of help with that is to utilize the planners that we have for them,
Okay,
and for them to write down their specialists, their names, and
okay.
maybe their numbers, so that we can have a list of their team members essentially.
Team
Their,
members.
yeah,
Awesome. So kind of like their
their
team of
team.
medical care.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That way you know who their specialists are. I mean, you can
Right.
see that in the computer, but it's good
Mm-hmm.
for them to see as well,
It's good for
right?
them, exactly. And especially
Nice.
if they're new, I don't know that who they're seeing, so it's good for us to at least see who they've been seen by in the past.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tip number 2 is to record all of your medical conditions and medications. So, if you're a
Mm-hmm.
patient of Rancho Family, we give all of our senior patients these really awesome patient medical planners.
Mm-hmm.
In these, it's basically a journal where you can keep your appointment logs, medication logs, and all of your conditions so that
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Ching knows if you're a new patient with him, he can look in here and say, okay, this is exactly what we need to do. It's a great place to make a plan. If you don't have this, or if you're not a patient of Rancho Family Medical Group, you can just use any journal, but just making sure that you keep track of your conditions and your medications so that
Mm-hmm.
when you are going to see Dr. Ching,
Mm-hmm.
you have it all in one place.
Absolutely. I think that's very crucial. And on top of that, I'd like to just add that if you can also keep a log of your past preventative screenings,
Mm,
colonoscopies, any kind of other preventative health screenings is very important, and also a past history of your vaccinations as well.
that's a great point. I
Mm-hmm.
know people will call our clinic often, maybe people who have moved to a different county or a different state, and
Mm-hmm.
they'll ask, when did I last get a colonoscopy? And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, we can absolutely tell you, but if
Mm-hmm.
you are able, keeping track of it in a
Mm-hmm.
journal, like you
Absolutely.
said,
Mm-hmm.
is so helpful. That's a great tip.
Yep. So now tip number 3 is something that we have in this book. It's a section where it discusses about your appointment logs. And oftentimes patients, there's so much that we talk about during our visits that sometimes it's hard to remember what exactly we went through. So we have a section here of appointment logs. And during each visit, whether it's with me or with your specialist, you can take some notes, document kind of what we discussed about. So you have a kind of like a record, chronological record of what we kind of talked about, and that's going to help keep things a little bit more organized.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, tip number 4 in organizing your care is going to be making sure you have a place that
Mm-hmm.
lists all of your emergency contacts and all of your doctors. So, in our medical book, we have a specific place for it. We have emergency contacts, friend and
Mm-hmm.
family members, and then your medical team, Dr. Ching or Sam Kim, who works
Mm-hmm.
with him. So, Dr. Ching, why is this so beneficial for you?
I think it's beneficial because sometimes patients are not the only ones involved with their care. Sometimes they require the assistance of a family member, a daughter, a son, to really help, be aware of their care. So knowing who else is involved at home is very helpful.
Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
is so helpful. Like I said, our medical planners have this included, but if you're
Mm-hmm.
just using a journal or a notebook, having a
Mm-hmm.
dedicated place, maybe with a tab on it to open it quickly so that
Mm-hmm.
doctors can know if your daughter, your son, your spouse is
Mm-hmm.
involved in your care as well. That's a great tip.
Absolutely. So tip number 5, oftentimes when patients come into our clinic, they have a whole host of questions to ask, and given a certain amount of time that we do have together to spend, I want to make it as effective and as beneficial for them. So sometimes, to keep a journal like this, where you can jot down your questions or jot down your concerns is very helpful. And if we can sometimes prioritize it, because although I want to help you to kind of address all the concerns, I do want to spend enough time to, dedicate to each concern so that we can really make an effective and impactful change for you.
That's awesome, Dr. Ching. I really appreciate that. Wanting to really dive deep into a couple issues as opposed to being very shallow with 20. That's a really good point. Well, Dr. Ching, thank you. That was our 5 tips for organizing your healthcare. If you have any questions about Rancho Family Medical or want to become a patient with Dr. Stephen Ching, you can always give us a call. If you are a current patient, we'd love to get you one of these Rancho Family Medical planners for our senior patients. And if you're a new patient, come and join us. We'll make sure you get one of these as well.
Absolutely. We look forward to meeting you, and take care.